So we are on our 100th missionary journey somewhere, and we've landed in Philippi. That's pretty amazing.
It is very amazing.
Yeah. So, you know, and that's the jail right there that Paul and Silas were in, right? On that journey, were there other guys here too? I know Luke was here at one point, and some of the other guys. They came here twice, right? So, but anyway, what is it? What changes when you see it?
Well, it's kind of interesting because in some ways it doesn't actually change anything, you know. And you look at these ruins, and you're trying to imagine what it would have been like, but it's nearly impossible to, you know. We were sitting on the rocks in the amphitheater, and Matt's like, "Man, Paul looked at those mountains." I'm like, "Yeah, but he wouldn't have heard the car noise," you know. But at the same time, it just shows like how life just goes on. You know what I mean? It really does. Yeah. And it's your walk with God today that makes the difference. And you know, as much as we you know, kind of have like honor and revere the apostles and the great things that they did. The other thing that really stands out is how unchristian this country is,
isn't
you
it?
know? And it's kind of heartbreaking because, I mean, when Christianity swept through here, it actually changed the face of the Roman Empire. And there's even little things like the amphitheater back there. They used to have like animal fights and theaters. And when Christianity came through, all of that stuff became taboo. And so it turned into woodworking shops. Like it totally changed the whole culture and structure of the system. And you see lots of religious symbols, but no life.
It's so true. You know, when you think about who's born again around here? Well, some of the tourists. You know, there's a lot of people like having Bible studies and stuff as they go with guides because of the interest in, you know, the archaeology and so on. But one thing, you think about it, you know, Paul and Silas in this prison, and that would have been like their life for sure, and it was real to them. It's not so real to us for sure, but my life is real to me, your life is real to you, and your life is real to you, right? And, and it's just as relevant and just as purposeful. And I think even the dearth of Christianity here, you know, the just will live by their faith, right? Or the moving of the Spirit or any of those kind of things. It probably leaves us with a bigger responsibility. And I said, you know, as we were coming up here, I said, God, just bring revival to Greece, because Greece needs it so bad. You know, we're watching revivals break out all around the world. But this is where it started. And it's too bad to see it end kind of here, you know, like it needs to pick up. And I think, too, that one of the things that I found back on this trip, you know, visiting those monasteries, they're beautiful, absolutely amazing. You think, man, I'd love to live here. It'd be a great getaway and so on. But it seems to me that the more the believers separated themselves from the world, the more they actually separated themselves from the presence of God. You know?
And from actually living a life of significance. You know? None of us, the same responsibility Paul carried when he was alive is the same responsibility we still carry today.
That's right.
And the guys that hid out in the mountains and in monasteries, you know, you feel sad for them because a lot of it was they were trying to sanctify themselves and get closer to God, but it was doing the actual opposite.
It really was. It really was, and it just brought such idol worship into everywhere. Like Greece basically is a Christian country, Greek Orthodox country,
but it's full of idolatry.
They don't know Jesus, you know, and these temples and these churches and stuff are just chock full of idolatry. Solemn, serene, dark.
Scary.
Like, scary, musty smelling. It's like, let's move on. Let's go for ice cream. But and there's people still living under that.
But such a devotion. We were in a church yesterday, and there's a few ladies walking around the church, and they're like kissing every photo.
Oh man.
Such devotion, such, you know, like love and whatever, worship. But it's so dead, and you just feel for them. So.
And I think too, it's devotion, but it's really, I'm hoping this does something for me.
It's
right?
True.
Honestly, Beck, this reminds me of Buddhism more than anything else I've ever seen.
It's kind of weird because like all of the most spiritual places are like the caves, the dark places. It's like totally the same as Buddhist monasteries or even like Hindu religion, right? Like last time we were in India, Pastor Joseph was telling us about this sect of very super religious Hindus, and they live in the mountains like hermits. Yeah. It's all the same stuff.
Yeah, it is. It is the same stuff over and over, isn't it?
Yeah, demonic.
Other thing I find really interesting is like in Thailand we have those spirit houses in every yard. In Greece they have those too.
Yeah, but they got crosses.
They're little churches. Yeah, exactly the same. And I looked in one. I looked in one and had like a statue of Mary and stuff in there, and I'm like, this is exactly the same thing, isn't it? So that's why Catholicism.
Well, religion always turns into idolatry.
Yeah,
right?
that's so true. Yeah.
But relationship with Jesus isn't. So gotta do
that's
that.
right.
Stay fresh.
So carry on in your significance, what God's called you to do, and you know, because your life is just as real to you as that life was to Paul and Silas.
And we still got a big job.
Yes, for you.